Hey Maya, I was happy to miss practice today to support Dexter in his Dex Talk.
Wait a minute, Steven. You mean he still insists on calling it a Dex Talk?
Yeah, he didn't want Ted to get all the credit. Even Wax skipped his Pilates class.
I can't make it today. My favorite show, Lantern Man, is airing a one-time only live special episode in celebration of Neptune's Chromium Harvest Day. As you know, Neptune's Chromium Harvest Day only lasts 26 minutes with commercials, so the show has to start right now. Here's a rental speaker I hired from a flyer I found.
Public speaker for hire? Nope. Okay. Need a public speaker? Nope. Okay.
I'll follow along on my laptop to ensure the quality of this Dex Talk. Ladies and gentlemen, Baskin Robbins.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that warm welcome. I was more than happy to be your substitute host for today's community event entitled, What are the California Regional Centers? A Bass Talk.
A Dex Talk.
So, what are California Regional Centers? Well, in 1969, the Lanterman Act was passed by the legislature and signed by Governor Reagan, making California the only state in the nation to provide lifelong entitlement services to people with IDD, or intellectual or developmental disabilities.
Wow, he even named the Lanternman Act after his favorite show.
No, Lantern Man Wiki discusses this in detail. The act was inspired by the real California Assemblyman Frank D. Lanterman, who served from 1951 through 1978. The act was the result of advocacy by parents who wanted their children with disabilities to live and thrive in the community. The TV show was inspired by the real Lanterman, who was a hero to so many.
Yes. Anyway, during the pilot phase, 2 centers were opened and served 559 people. In 2024, the 21 independent regional centers serve over 400,000 Californians with autism, cerebral palsy, epilepsy, intellectual disabilities, and more. And why 21? Well, you see—
The Lantern Man Act was designed intentionally to respond to community needs and not to create a state-run system. California is so large and with such a diverse population that dividing the state into 21 regions allows for localization of services. Maya will tell you why as the commercial just ended.
What? Me? Well, okay. These services are provided by centers who know their communities and can tailor how to best serve people in their native languages and culture. They also know available vendors and other pertinent information necessary to best serve their communities.
Yes, indeed. Well said, I suppose. Now, if I may continue, that small pilot program 6 decades ago has grown and changed dramatically. So now, regional centers serve 1 in 100 of all Californians. And because our state is so large, that's actually 1 in every 1,000 Americans. And has an annual budget of almost $15 billion.
He wants you to loudly applaud here.
Thank you very much. Now, many of you are here today because you or a family member may have an intellectual or developmental disability and have learned that our system of regional centers can provide irrevocable and perpetual entitlement programs with a myriad of supports and service professionals in your catchment area who take the approach of PCT at its core, and all without onerous economic impact on the families.
He means that once it's determined that someone who is living in California is eligible for services, owing to their intellectual or developmental disability, they get a lifetime of support. That support is specifically designed around that person. Therefore, this approach is called person-centered thinking, or PCT. PCT focuses on everyone as an individual, not a diagnosis or a group where everyone is treated the same. I have found it quite valuable. I received supports that included learning that sometimes what I say isn't understood by others in the way I meant it. I had a lot of practice with professionals in listening and picking up social cues and responding appropriately. Now back to the guy I found on the street pushing pamphlets.
Thank you, Dexter, for that introduction, which could in no way be misconstrued.
Aha! I can tell what you just said was sarcastic. See? My supports are working.
Yes. Now, back to what I was saying. Let me give you more examples. My good friends in the audience are unique individuals with their own goals of working and living in the community and participating in activities like sports, art, and the other things that we all want from our lives. In conjunction with the individual and their planning team, an IPP, or Individual Program Plan, is established, and the Regional Center provides services based on that plan. They assist with employment services, funding job coaching, making it easier to live independently, and specialized therapies like behavioral supports. Other possibilities can include transportation to day services, identifying appropriate living environments, and assistance in finding community-based social opportunities, all based on the individual's own needs and passions.
That one he got right.
Woohoo!
However, you didn't really clearly define the terms onerous, catchment area, irrevocable, entitlement, or perpetual.
I was just getting to that. One moment.
Oh, I know. Catchment area means where you live and what regional center serves it. Perpetual and irrevocable means when you're eligible for regional center services, it can never be taken away. It's there for the rest of your life, not just a certain period of time.
And entitlement means this program is provided through nonprofits funded by the state of California and is guaranteed to be offered to you. The regional centers are responsible to meet the needs established in the IPP for every individual. And not economically onerous means that almost every service provided by the regional centers doesn't cost you anything. Also, it's important to remember that nothing is ever forced on you. You are entitled to everything offered to you that fits your individual wants and needs, but the choice is always yours.
I also want to add that the entire regional center system makes it a priority to serve all Californians with IDD in the manner in which they are most comfortable, based on their preferred language and culture. To achieve that, more than 20 languages are offered to the people we support directly from our team, or through the use of interpreters. To be clear, that's more than 20.
20.
20. 8. 10. 20.
Hey!
Now then, let's move on to the practical way in which we work with you, the people we support. The very first thing that happens is that you meet with an intake professional. They evaluate your individual situation to confirm that you qualify as a person with an intellectual or developmental disability, also known as IDD. After assessment and acceptance, you become eligible for regional center services. Whenever you join, you are assigned a service coordinator. This person is a highly trained and degreed professional who meets with you alone, with your family, or with anyone in your circle of support that you wish. That meeting can happen in your home, the regional center office, or any place you feel comfortable. An IPP is...
Individual Program Plan.
Yes, thank you. The IPP is informed by the person's preferred future, which is what they want to do based on their strengths, capabilities, preferences, lifestyle, and cultural background. Services and supports are then put into place to help them reach their goals. This is a written action plan that may include many of the things we have talked about here today. The law requires that people have an IPP meeting at least once every 3 years, and it is updated annually. The IPP is a contract between the person and the regional center, written in a way even I can understand.
The reason it's a contract is because both parties have to sign it, agreeing to provide and receive services. It also explains the rights we have, such as the right to appeal something we don't agree with, the right to a transportation access plan if required, and an explanation about how no one can be discriminated against even if they voice concerns.
He's never shy about voicing his concerns.
I'm never shy about voicing my concerns.
After the IPP is agreed to, it's the service coordinator's job to set up supports and consultation with you, and to meet with you periodically to make sure things are going well and you are heading toward your preferred goals. Of course, you have the right to contact your coordinator anytime you want in between meetings to change your goals, request additional or different supports, or voice any concerns. You need never be shy about reaching out and asking questions. Maya, I'm not sure this is a question and answer session. It's more of a one-way lecture.
What? You literally just said never to be shy about asking questions.
My apologies, Maya. What is your question?
I'm not sure you have adequately covered the different services that grow with you as you get older. For example, I was brought in under Early Start when I was 2, and Dexter came in as an adult.
And I started when I was 7.
Yes, I was also just getting to that. Come on, Bass. Find it.
Everyone is different, and people can join the regional center system at almost any time of their lives as long as it's confirmed that their intellectual or developmental disability began before age 18. And obviously, the needs and services for a 3-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 16-year-old, an adult, or even an old person of 40,
Old?
are different. Early Start, where Maya joined, is specifically designed for 0 to 3 years old and has a dedicated team for this tender young age and the families of those just beginning their journey with unique developmental milestones as part of their unique world.
Aw, he said that so beautifully.
He has layers.
Right before they turn 3 years old, they have a reevaluation to determine if they are still delayed in at least 3 major areas of life activity. If so, they qualify to receive services for the rest of their lives. The regional center and the school are then responsible to ensure a smooth transition into the educational system, knowing that the children have been given a terrific early start. I hope you noticed that clever turn of phrase. Oh well. Eligible children now have services provided by both the regional center and the school, so...
It's time for more Letterman.
Gotta go.
Okay then. Continuing on, some examples of what the Regional Center provides at this time are daycare, family respite services, social recreation, and camp. As our children age into high school, well, we all remember how challenging that latter teenage time of life can be, no matter who we were. So, when becoming young adults, it's the Regional Center's transitional services that specializes in providing supports and assisting in future goal settings, such as continuing with higher education, finding employment, and in making choices about living arrangements. As you can probably tell, the IPP is always considered a living document that changes as the needs and age of the individual do. And you will meet with the Regional Center many times throughout your life to adjust your goals and services. Our adult services recognizes that for the rest of your life, like everyone else, you now face the same challenges and opportunities we all do. The Regional Center can provide supports and services that can help you learn how to budget your finances, develop and navigate relationships, job train, and spend your time in ways that you enjoy, as well as participate in and contribute to your community.
I have friends who I don't think can do all the things you just talked about.
I know what he was going to say. I have friends too who are heavily impacted by their disability.
Bass, let me take this one. It requires a certain delicacy. While some of us have greater capacity for doing many of the things Bass talked about, others don't. Some people may not be able to walk, talk, or feed themselves. The Regional Center provides person-centered services to support them based upon their unique needs. Day programs offer experiences that can bring joy to many people, specialized medical services can help ensure your comfort and safety, and extensive crisis management and respite services allow you and your family to get urgent attention or breaks when you need them. Also, the regional centers offer both foster grandparent and senior companionship programs. These provide warmth and care, no matter how old you are or how difficult your challenges may be.
Yeah, but what about when their parents or family can't help out anymore, or when they're no longer around?
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late, but maybe I came in at just the right time.
Danny!
Hey, Dexter, as a service coordinator, can I contribute something here?
Of course.
The teams at the Regional Center are very connected with this concern from families and the people we support. It's part of life to wonder what happens when those we love are no longer there. We understand the difficulties this kind of loss brings. After all, loss is a human condition, not only associated to those with IDD. It's never easy for anyone. When any major life event occurs, we can offer emotional supports, and if needed, we can help look for new living arrangements. I hope that people take away from this great Dex talk that the Regional Center isn't just one thing to one kind of person. We've spent the last 60 years developing programs and services that adapt to you, your circumstances, and the world around you as it changes.
Thank you so much, Danny. That was an important and difficult subject.
I'm back now. You'll all be happy to know that Neptune's Chromium Harvest Day, despite being threatened by the Blarg bots, was a success. And all in 26 minutes plus commercials. Oh, I see Bass has managed to complete the Dex talk. At this time, he's obligated, he would like to, answer questions from the audience.
I actually have one for you, Dexter. Do you find it a coincidence that Lanternman and I have never been seen in a room together? Take a good look at us. Same muscled body shape,
same strong jaw and heroic facial structure.
And that in previous lectures, I have actually thrown in a few words of blarg.
This can't be true. It just can't.
It's not true. Lorenzo paid me $5 whole to say that. I thought it was a very creative practical joke.
What can I say? I'm an artist, man.
I'm never speaking to either of you again. I hope you have all learned a lot today. If you want to learn more, you may consider going to dds.ca.gov, where you can also find the web addresses and phone numbers of your local regional centers. This concludes my Dex talk on what are the California regional centers. Until next time, I'll see you on Saturn, then the stars.